Lewis was born on August 18, 1774 in Locust Hill, Virginia. You may recognize me as the leader of the Lewis and Clark expedition. Our expedition began when President Thomas Jefferson asked my friend William Clark and I to travel northwest to the Pacific Ocean. We left on May 14, 1804, not knowing what adventures await us. Many of our men had bows and arrows and guns. Those helped us hunt for food, such as buffalo, goose, beaver, and fish. The weapons also helped when we came in contact with the Sioux Indians, not the friendliest people around. They tried to take one of our boats because those greedy folks felt they hadn't gotten enough gifts. Fortunately, they backed off when they saw the deadly weapon. In November, we had reached central North Dakota, home of the Mandan people. Thankfully, we became friends and smoked a peace pipe together. We stayed in the village until spring because of the harsh, cold winter. It was April 7th, 1805, by the time we left Fort Mandan. The natives sang, danced, and exchanged gifts before we went on. We didn't only leave with our own men, but a French-Canadian fur trapper named Toussaint Charbonneau, who lived with the Indians, joined the trip too. He helped guide us through the mountains and translate the Indians' language. Sacagawea, Charbonneau's wife, was a Shoshone girl of the age of 18. Sacagawea and her 2-month-old son, nicknamed Pom, also joined the expedition. She would help us get the horses we need from the Shoshone tribe. In the time that we had been gone, we had discovered many kinds of plants and animals, and had also written many notes for President Thomas Jefferson, and were finally able to give them to him. We put the notes in a boat along with some men and samples of some of the plants and animals we had discovered and sent it back down the Missouri River to the president. One of the plants we discovered could help fevers. I became ill and had a fever, so I boiled twigs of a tree and drank it. I soon became better. I named the plant a chokecherry. An animal we discovered was told to us by the Indian. They had told us in a story of a huge hairy animal, a bear. We were wrong not to believe them. I found out the hard way. I was chased by this beast for a while until I jumped in water. It didn't follow. We named it the grizzly bear. Panicking. When the storm was through, Sacagawea saved the items that had washed ashore. She was very brave and was the only one who had not panicked. On June 3rd, 1805, we had a decision to make. There was a fork in the river. Days later, we had to choose. We started sailing down one and let out a sigh of relief when we found out it was the right one. We had reached Great Falls in Montana. In August, we arrive at the Shoshone camp. Sacagawea recognizes the chief and finally figures out that it is her long-lost brother, Camoite. On September 11th, we start our treacherous journey through the Rocky Mountains. 12 days later, we had emerged from the mountains near Weep, Idaho, also at the villages of the Nez Perce Indians. We finally reached the Pacific Ocean. The entire expedition took a vote on where to build our winter quarters. We settled on the Clatsop Indian side of the Columbia River and name it Fort Clatsop. After another cold, wet winter of only 12 days without rain, we present our fort to the Clatsop Indians, in which we name the fort after, and head home. September 23rd, 1806. Finally, we are back. We have found an easier route across the country. We were planning on a 1.5-year journey, and it ended up being a 2-year, 4-month journey, but we found so many new things. By the end of our expedition, we had found 122 new animals. So now, my exploring years are over, but my crew and I are acclaimed as national heroes.
My dear friend Meriwether Lewis died on October 11, 1809, south of Nashville. Nobody knows if he suffered of malaria or he took his own life because of depression, but he will always be remembered.